this spare part, new bright Silverado, and a little Tom. Make a mini Chevy crawler to match the SCX and put it on tracks. So from the new bright, it's from 2007. I'm not going to use anything but the body. I had already done some messing around with it and mounted a spot to stick it to this ring. I had done some messing around before, and that's why it doesn't have any electronics. They don't like 7.2 volts LiPo, the stock electronics, and you'll get a smoke show if you try it, and we're probably going to see that. Maybe not today, but I will show you overloading a brushed motor, because we're going to put in a upgraded ESC in this. I'm going to leave the stock servo for now, but you don't want to run too much power to the motors because they essentially eat themselves. So I'm going to show you that, and let's get into it. So with this piece here, it is a little loose at the moment. I'm going to go and grab a piece of PVC to mount that quick. Where that is, just give me one moment here. So I have this. It was just a 3D printed piece. And it looks like it's going to mount nicely there. I just got to do a little bit of trimming on the side here. I don't think I'm going to need that, but yeah. Apparently the light doesn't like me today. I think hot glue it is. Do have some of that here somewhere. Usually people have a hot glue gun for this, but I'm just gonna heat up a little bit more and put it inside here, there, just as some reassurance. And again, yes, most people have a hot glue gun. I just don't feel like breaking it out. Worst part that gets me with that is that's going to be super hot. Don't touch that. Is the strings. Hot glue's great, but the strings tend to get a little much. Now we're going to set this on there. Hopefully, maybe on there. So, so now I'm just kind of setting the body position while the glue is still warm, and then it will cure, and hopefully we'll have the spot that it's supposed to be in. As I said, I already did some suspension work and whatnot previously, just messing around. I had a snowplow on one. That was pretty fun. But I think I still have that. Yeah, I still have a Matco buggy over there with the snowplow mount on it. I don't know if I have any footage from the wintertime with that. But what did we do? I think it's got its home. It's hard, don't touch it. Of course you gotta touch it. Don't touch it. the snowplow on it, and I tried putting 7.2 volts to it, and it lit itself on fire. So don't do that. Alright, so that's it. Just some hot glue again. We're not trying to win any award shows. Alright. Okay, so there's that. Now, to pull out 4.8 8-volt battery, and and we're just going to test which one's positive and which one is negative. So green is positive. Right. Now, see if it is a reverse direction for the front axle. Okay. Green to green, white to white. And it should be all the same direction. So we're going to marry that to the Dean's connector after we solder both these things together. Maybe. We can do this. Double cut. That light is really getting to me. I'm going to have to change that. Alright. So those are spliced. Let's do the same with the other side. And again, I used a 4.8 volt, just testing the direction, because the last thing you want to do is burn out your motors on your build before you actually, get to put her into some real stuff. So now we're just gonna twist white to white. Get out of there, silly goose. Apparently, if you didn't have fat fingers, this makes it easier. But your boy's got some sausage fingers. Is that light flickering for you guys, or am I going crazy? Yeah. So here's white. Where's my solder gun? I just have it. So this is cordless soldering gun. I just do this to heat up the tip, makes things go a little easier. My solder's over there. Always make sure you have your solder, flux, depending on the kind of solder you're using, depending on how much you care. Because me, I don't, as long as it holds. So what do we got here? We got, we can turn that on. So solder this together. Remember, stay out of the fumes if you can. It's never good to breathe this stuff in. I guess depending on who you ask, this is called tin. So now there. So female and male. Alright. That means I need to do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna steal this one. This is another ESC I have. This is like 13 years old. It's an HPI. Probably should use my torch for this one. We got some movement happening here. Ooh, that's hot. Don't touch that, CHEVY. So green was positive. How is my ESC wired up? Yep. So let me bring you on in here. So all I really did was I added some spacers off of my Mako buggy here, and oh, where is it here? Yeah, and just soldered those onto a Dean's connector so it can be plugged in to this ESC. The reason why this ESC is on a Dean's connector for the power and negative outputs is because I take it in and out of a lot of things, just building and messing around. But again, we'll get to that at a later date. So just on a short coffee break there. As you've seen, that's where that is. The body has had time to cool down, so we're going to see how that fits on there now. Well, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. You know, that doesn't look too bad. So we have a spot for the ESC. I just got to solder in a plug for the steering servo. And I'm pretty sure that one runs off this, so I'm going to have to reach in my pocket full of batteries here. I do a lot of trail riding, so I always have pocket batteries. But yeah, most of that I just do with my SCX10. But this controller, I believe, yeah, it turns on, and it's bound to this HPI Mini Recon. That's a 3S battery on my boat and a brushless system. And well, here I'll plug it in quick and show you what it's like. I blew the front shafts out of it. I have steel ones to go in, so if you want, I can do a video on that. Feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe. So that's connected. It's a little bit ridiculous. We're gonna shut that down. But yeah, definitely gonna have to show that once I put the metal shafts in. But that ESC I took out of this basher, and this basher I fully locked all the differentials in it. And again, that's another thing I can get into if you guys want to see how to lock a basher diff. But I replaced that ESC with one that I got out of my Matco buggy. This one's more of a shelf queen, just being Matco. I don't know, it's just a cool buggy to have. It does work. I can take it out if you guys want to see it. Jump, bash, whatever, I don't mind. But yeah, that's that. It's got lights, and there's the snowplow mount for it. And again, mismatch, all sorts of stuff here. Back to the main prize here. So, as I was saying earlier with the throttle rate, this one here, which is the center dial, I'm going to turn that down to 1 to start. I believe we're just going to do a test here and make sure this is wired up correctly. Make sure it's turned off. Turn the controller off. Stop it from binding to that. I think this is a good battery. Alright, seems to be good. Alright, and it seems to be bound. Alright. I'm just gonna hold that. Well, there we go. They both spin in the proper direction. I'm gonna spin the throttle to reverse on this because apparently I wired it up backwards. Ta-da. And that's about the limit you want your brushless motors to be at. So with that being said, I'm going to take a moment here and set up another motor, and we're going to blow it up. So here's a few electronics that I burnt out. I think. Some of them are still good. Some of them aren't. Yeah, this one's still good. Just the nope, no, it's not. This was one that I cooked right along there. I can't remember what I was doing, but I ended up running 14.4 volts to it, and it just oh, some batteries. Well, that's another thing. LiPo batteries. I build and mess with those. As scary as it sounds, it's really not that bad. Alright. Here's my motor. So this is a cheater wire I made to run dual 2S in the SCX. Is it recommended? Probably not, but do what you got to do. Alright, so this is dangerous. I can overload this. Do not plug that back into itself. So that's a motor on one. Give me a moment here and we'll... Woo! There it goes. As you've seen, there's different parts to a motor blowing. That was just that part. I'm sure the motor's still good for a bit. But yeah, that whining and that sound, it's not going to last long. With that being said, I tried to blow it up, but you did get some sparks and some smoke, so another day. Alright, so we are at this. And let's get some of those batteries out of the way. So plugs. I have a bag of plugs here somewhere. Bag of wires. Probably just steal them off something else here. That's one that burnt. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that burnt. I think that's the one I'm gonna use. Maybe. Sorry, I've messed that up a lot of times. flickering. I'd appreciate it if it stopped. And that's what I meant by screwing it up. A bit more soldering. I think. Possibly. Oh, I made a mess of this table. There it is. Oh, I gotta clean this up after. So yeah, we're gonna solder this plug in, and we're gonna go for our first test drive with it. And then we're gonna put tracks on it. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing? Blowing stuff up. What are you doing? I love you. She's great. I love you. I hope you get one. You guys are there. I hope your wife's as cool as mine. Don't piss her off. So holy. All right. So I think we're at the point now where we can test drive it. I probably should wrap that up in something. Just because I don't want all my hard work to go to waste. Semi-professional race car driver. Where she goes, where she stops, nobody knows. So, with this ESC, furthest to the right, the on switch is just your simple left-right. No variable turning, unfortunately, until I add the other servo, but again, it's a toy. Great thing we're turning into a crawler just to see what she's got. feels like I plugged something in there before. Get your mind out of the gutter. Alright. In a nutshell, that should work. So set your trim to 0 because there is no variable turning. So if you have your trim up, it's going to go just left or right. So with that being said, we have a working chassis. Now let's put it together and throw some tracks on it. That in there with some 3M, figure out where this is gonna go. Somewhere like that. Tuck you in there. There. I'm just gonna leave this in the on position on the ESC for now. This can go up and over, hopefully. Tuck everything in there accordingly. Screw this bad boy together. No, that's not a bad idea. I'm just gonna stick this in there under the hood for now. Just give it some front end weight. just stuck that in there. Now we're going to move the cord to hook up the battery to the other side. Just because why? Well, never mind. How about let's stick it to this side. I forgot I got plugs right there too. Steering seems to work. I guess let's try and do a little crawl. Oh, wait, let's turn that. Who knows? If you want, check out the shorts. I'm gonna send a video over there, probably, for someone else. But let's do some digging in the boneyard and see if we can find some tracks for it. It moves. It looks pretty cool too, actually. Like, you know, it's not perfect, but it's pretty cool. I like that. That's not bad. That little rock crawler. Mini rock crawler. Alright, stay focused. Let's put the tracks on. Let's clean up your mess here a little bit. Got parts all over the place, brother. So, these were some tracks that I found off of the Little Tom a little while ago off of Value Village. And they should bolt right on. Maybe we might need a smaller screwdriver for that. Just gotta get a smaller screwdriver. Really? it looks pretty cool. Well, there you have it. Mini Chevy crawler on tracks. That's pretty cool. Anyway, like, subscribe, share. Have a great night.